Hi there, I'm Malcolm Cesar, your host of the Super Affiliate Biz Leads Automation Summit. And today I'm thrilled to introduce you to Anthony Genzel. Anthony is the head of marketing and business development at Granite Creative Group, a full-service marketing firm. He is also the founder of AnthonyGenzel.com, a marketing and business blog helping startups, small businesses, and marketing pros grow and thrive. Today, we're going to be talking about how to build a content marketing strategy for your website, for your affiliate site that will improve your search ranking and visibility. Anthony, it's great to have you on the summit.
Great to be here. Thanks. I've been looking forward to the call. Great to awesome. Connect.
Yeah, definitely. So, Anthony, why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with content marketing?
Yeah. So I kind of fell into a role in the marketing field. I was in the film and video production industry for a while, and then I fell into a role in the marketing field and led the marketing for a fabric company, which was super exciting, obviously. So taking it to the next level, I actually ended up moving into a role as director of marketing at a content marketing agency called Veritas Group in Greenville, South Carolina. That was back close to 10 years ago now. And that's where I really started to grab that passion for content marketing and realize the value of content in marketing. So, since then I've just kind of progressed, and within each organization and each role that I've had the opportunity to explore. Content marketing's a field that's always growing and changing. So it's great. It's fun to stay on top of things and really kind of grow with the practice, basically.
Awesome, man. So traditional marketing is becoming, less and less effective by the minute. And as a forward-thinking marketer, there has to be a better way to reach your audience. And here comes content marketing. So, what exactly is a content marketing?
Yeah, so content marketing, you're gonna, you look online, you're gonna find a number of different definitions. I think, if you want the authoritative definition, go to Content Marketing Institute. Obviously, content marketing in a nutshell is basically creating great content, video, ebooks, articles, whatever it may be that helps you develop relationships with your target audience and it adds value for them. You're answering their questions, you're adding value for them, you're engaging with them and building relationships. This isn't sales material, it's not sales collateral, it's not a PowerPoint pitch or anything like that.
Right.
It's something that really grabs their attention and helps them, so that later on, the ultimate goal obviously is for them to become a paying customer. Otherwise you're wasting your time, but really you want to grow that relationship. And that way, when they do become a customer, there's a level of trust built, and they end up becoming a customer for a longer period of time, I think. So that's the shortest, longest version of what I think content marketing is.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So, also content marketing, as you know, is just one part of the game. Great content is mandatory, yes, but without marketing your content, you'll not be able to get the return on investment on your content creation efforts. Mm-hmm. There are two major activities involved in content marketing. As you know, first, you have to have a new set of audience to your blog who discover your content for the first time. And second, you have to convert that new audience into subscribers who will come back to your channel for fresh content. So what are the best ways to build an audience with content?
Yeah, and I think it touches on the obvious of creating valuable content, understanding your audience, understanding their needs and challenges and who they are, and then crafting content that really helps them out. So a great way to go about it is to look at, find out as much as you can about your content audience or your content, your target audience.
Right.
And then look at the content that they're looking for, look what they're reading, look at the challenge that they're facing, and then find out what's not being given to them out there on the market. So answer those questions that aren't being answered, and you become their go-to resource, or go above and beyond and take the answers that are out there to a whole nother level, and really engage them. And I think giving content away is a lot of times is where companies stall, because they think, I'm not just giving something away. I'm not gonna create all this content, just give it away to people. But really what you're doing, like I said, is you're building that relationship You can promote that content initially. You know, if you have a really great brand, it's understood, that content's going to get picked up. People are going to be looking at your site already. But if you don't and you're looking to build more from scratch, there's a lot of great ways to use paid promotion, Google ads, social media ads. I like to use Facebook ads. They're as long as you do them the right way, they're very affordable. Different social media channels are great. But what you do then is you use those free giveaways to build your email lists. And then you segment those into the, whether it's, this list is customers who might be interested in a particular product line. This is people that are more in the awareness stage and need, more of our articles and things like that. Certain locations, whatever the case may be, you break your email list down, and you can really develop that that following by targeting the right people with the right content. And you can use social media, work that in, and once you really understand your target, it's easy to build that relationship using these different tactics.
Wow, great advice for affiliate marketers, who have an affiliate site and want to grow and get better.
Yep.
And, as you're trying to grow your qualified search traffic, you have to combine your content marketing with your SEO efforts, and running them as separate campaigns isn't going to provide you with as big of a traffic increase as combining them into one campaign. So what are some smart ways that we can combine content marketing with SEO?
Yeah, so I mean, content and SEO need to work together. And over the years, there's been sort of this battle, SEO is dead, no, content's dead. And in reality, neither of those is right. They're sort of one in the same. I think that, what you really need to do is kind of mix the two by understanding that, let's say, for example, you're creating a piece about European travel. Give me 1 second. I'm going to close this blind. It's killing. Crazy lights going on my face. So, actually, you know what? I'll open it the whole way. Apologize. There we go. So we get some light and no lines. So with the combination of content and SEO, let's say, for example, you run a travel blog. Mm-hmm. You want to rank for, you're thinking of creating a European travel piece. Let's say, so you search and you want to rank for best travel tips across Europe, something along those lines. When you search on Google, you find out that the top ranking article is something like 10 tips to travel across Europe. Mm-hmm. Look at that article, dig through it, find out what's missing from it. Is it very basic? Can you add to it? Can you make it 20 tips for traveling across Europe? Can you make the headline better? 20 amazing tips or 20 tips to have the best Europe travel experience. Can you add video to it and other content to really enhance that article? And then as people start to read that and start to gain respect for it, there's potential for things like link building. So, you have a more authoritative piece, you can go to those sites, you can dig in and find out what sites are linking to that #1 ranking piece currently. Go to those sites and say, I just developed this piece. Takes that, I see you're linking to the 10 tips across the travel Europe. This piece really takes it to another level. I think your readers would really appreciate this. If you're open to it, it'd be great if you could link to it. Don't be pushy. Those emails will get ignored. I get a lot of those pushy emails from my own blog and kind of just delete. But if the right approach is made and you're really adding value and your article is really great and does actually take that link to another level, you can really take advantage of that and get some links in there. So that's just one of the ways sort of that content and SEO can kind of come together. But you should always create a piece of content with the SEO side in mind. High quality content is, search engines are trained to determine what's high quality and what's poor quality. So it's always best to start with the high quality content, work in the keywords, work in the links and internal and external, and really craft a piece of content for both search engines and people. Right, people being most important, but search engines as well.
So you suggest researching, just to sum it up, you suggest researching these high quality content seeing what can be better, what you as a marketer can make better, the article or video, whatever kind of content that you're getting, and just repurposing that and making it into a better version. Is that what you're basically suggesting?
Yeah, and it's a great way to really shoot for that top level in Google. You
Right.
see what's ranking,
Yeah.
you know what Google is giving value to,
Mhm.
and you work your best to take that to another level. And it's not going to happen overnight. It does take a lot of work. You want to get people to notice it, whether it's promoting it. If it's really great, the good thing is a lot of people may start linking to it themselves. So you may get people adding it to blogs on their own blogs by themselves and linking back to you. If it takes a little bit longer to get noticed, then you may do some outreach on your own. But crafting high quality content is at top importance. But knowing what's out there and what's ranking can really help you craft the right content, essentially.
Okay. And you touched on, in terms of high quality content, you touched on blogging. What about other forms of content? What other forms of content do you recommend for affiliate marketers, to maybe like an ebook or a checklist? What are the other types of content that you consider high quality that you would recommend marketers to create?
Yeah, I think my favorite kind of content is video.
Okay.
Let's say if you're an affiliate and you can showcase product within your video, you can do a how-to. Let's say you're promoting, since we're on the topic of SEO, you're promoting a particular SEO tool, and it maybe is something that's not simple for users to adopt. You create a situation where you create a video that walks them through it. Screen grabs, your screen capture as you're walking through the tool with you narrating. That type of video is really great. Tips and tricks to keep them in tune, to see you as an authority in the field, because if you grow yourself as an authority in the field, then when you go and you make a product recommendation or something like that, they're going to take your word for it, versus if they don't know you, they're just going to be like, who is this person trying to sell me on something? So video is really great. Ebooks are really great because you can not only take a blog to a whole nother level, and you can even monetize those ebooks. You can sell those ebooks using Amazon or something else. But you can also not sell them, give them away like we were talking about, and collect leads, and then you're able to build your email list. So ebooks are really great, white papers. Another thing I like is infographics. I think it's great when you pop an infographic into an article. So you take that article from just text, then you pop an infographic that takes what you're writing about and really expands it into a visual representation. Makes it easier for people to consume, essentially. So there's all kinds of great content out there, different types of social media posts depending on your particular line of business.
Right.
So you really, there's no shortage, but my favorite, like I said, is video. I think people can really get a sense of who you are and make a strong connection with video.
Awesome. So video and infographics, two of your favorite ones.
Yeah.
Great. So let's talk about SEO. Like business and life, it's all about constant improvement, and improvement is only possible when something can be measured. Measuring SEO is often easier said than done. There is a staggering number of components and variables in the SEO efforts, and several metrics are needed to gauge success. Complexity can be challenging, and it takes true grit to master the art and science of measuring SEO. So, how do you measure SEO success?
Yeah, so I think, there's a variety of tools, fortunately. You can use some paid tools. You can use Moz. I like Moz a lot. I like SEMrush. But you can also use Google Analytics. So, look at what pages are really performing well on your site. Look at specifically if you dig into the traffic that's coming in organically to your site, and you look at what pages are really performing well in that area. Look at the time on page. Look at the bounce rate. Is your bounce rate going down? Your content is, if you're increasing in organic search, your content's getting noticed by search engines, and you're doing something right there. But then you can bring in tools like Moz or SEMrush, and you can look at specific pages, and you can figure out where there might be errors on the page, and you can use, Moz has a page grader tool that you can look at each individual page and see, okay, this page has an F. Why does it have an F? And it has, list out why exactly you have problems. And those are great ways to really look at how your content's performing. But you're also going to want to look at, you can use Google Search Console, for example, and figure out what kind of keyword terms you're ranking for, which ones are sending traffic your way. You can do that with Moz as well. There's so many great tools that can help you out, can help you determine, back to Moz, and I'm rambling a little bit here because this is a big topic, but Moz, for example, will show you what they call a domain authority. You can see your site. It gives sort of a representation of how Google would view your site. And it's not 100% accurate, but it gives you a good idea of how your site's ranking based on things like backlinks and the quality of the pages and things like that. And as you see that rise, you start with a domain authority of 15 out of 100, and then a year later you're at 30, and a year later you're at 45. You're obviously your SEO efforts are working and keeping your site heading in the right direction. The higher you move in that direction, obviously, the more easily you're showing up in search. So, but you want to make sure you're showing up for the right keywords. If you're a content marketing agency and you have people finding you for, car detailing, those people are going to land on your site and they're going to leave. Let's say you had an article about content marketing for car detailing companies, and somehow that's bringing in people that are looking for actual car detailing services. Mm-hmm. They're going to bounce off of your site immediately, and that's going to hurt your site. So you really need to keep on top of these things and look at how pages are performing, and then update pages. If you find problems like that one or other types of issues, update those pages, or maybe even remove them, get rid of them if they're causing a lot of problems for you.
Excellent, Anthony. So 63% of businesses, there was a statistic that 63% of businesses don't have a documented content marketing strategy. It's no surprise that those businesses who do have a strategy are most likely to feel that their content marketing efforts are successful. And without a strategy, success or failure is really just a matter of luck. And with all your efforts going to waste, and that's likely why that learning how to build a content strategy is one of the greatest educational needs. So can you walk through the components of a good content strategy and how we can use content mapping to build a content marketing strategy that's going to drive people to our website?
Yep, for sure. So every piece of content that you have and your strategy as a whole should come with goals. So you should have an overarching strategy or an overarching set of goals for your full strategy, but each piece of content you create should have goals too. If you want a piece to create thought leadership, or this piece is going to drive brand awareness, or this piece is going to help us build our email list, that allows you to really understand the why part of it. If you don't have a why, then there's no point in creating that content. You're wasting your time. But if you have a why and you understand what the point of it is, it's a lot easier for you to really achieve those goals, and that's really important. Ultimately, you need to build some sort of ROI out of it. The next, and I don't know that this is next, probably in line with the goals piece of it, is understanding your audience. So if you don't understand your audience, a lot of times what companies will do is they'll think, I like this, so I'm going to assume everybody else does. And not everybody is like you, so, that's the thing about the human race. We're all super different, different countries and backgrounds and thoughts on everything. Right. We don't all like the same content. We don't all like the same formats. We don't all have the same problems. So, you really need to understand who your target audience is. And craft your content with that in mind.
Yeah, definitely.
All of that content I'm sorry, what was that?
No, you go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. All of that content should be created with your brand in mind. Keep your brand and your messaging consistent. Have a unique voice in your content. And that way you can kind of stand out. So you're not saying things exactly the same way all your 20 competitors say them. You want to make it known who you are. I am this company. I'm representing this company. When I talk, even though I'm a person, I'm not, I don't have a logo on me anywhere, but people will understand that by the way I'm engaging, the things I'm saying, that's part of the brand, the company that I'm representing essentially. And each piece of content should be similar. You should be able to tell this article came from company Y or whatever the case may be. And then all the greatest ideas in the world will go nowhere if you don't have anybody to create them. So you need a production team. You need to understand who in your organization is going to create the content. Do you have the resources in-house, or is it, do you have to hire an agency and bring them in to do the content creation? Mm-hmm. And then after that's created, you need to have the distribution. And what channels are we going to utilize to put that out there? Is it going to be social media? Are we going to use advertising? Understanding ahead of time what channels you're going to utilize will help you when you're crafting the content. You can craft content in certain ways that, one channel might need a certain format, whatever the case may be. And finally, to wrap up that long-winded run there, measurement. You need to have a plan to measure it. So, along with your goals, you need to understand, I wanted to gain with this particular campaign, I want to gain 1,000 new email subscribers. And then at the end of everything, when it's executed, I gain 1,200. Great. I win. I achieved my goal. Or I didn't. I only gained 500. Let's explore what went wrong. If you don't have all these things in place, there's no way to really tell if your content's working or not. And even if it seems like it's working, maybe it could work better, more effectively, and you can gain 2,000 subscribers, for example. So those are sort of the steps to walk through a content strategy there.
Great steps. And so as we've gone through everything, it's no secret that content marketing is one of the most effective ways to reach new customers. It drives traffic to your site, especially when you combine it with SEO, and because they both work together, as you stated. And this helps establish you as a leading voice in your industry and gives audiences useful, actionable content that they need to solve their problems. So in your opinion, Anthony, how does content marketing differ from other types of marketing?
I like to think of it more as, rather than like sort of a type of marketing, I like to think of it more as a part of your overall integrated strategy. So, I think that content is, as I think I mentioned this earlier, I think it's sort of the cornerstone of everything. You have your full marketing strategy, which might include social media marketing, might include paid promotions, email marketing, whatever the case may be, whatever tactics you're utilizing. Content's going to fuel all of those efforts. So, it's in my opinion, the most powerful piece of your marketing strategy, essentially, just because without it, you really can't do any of the otthink things. So I think it's kind of, rather than look at it as a type of marketing, I look at it as something that really fuels the rest of it, sort of the fuel for your marketing strategy.
Okay. So in regards to our website is a living, breathing entity on the internet. And every update you make to your website, once it's live on the internet, plays a part in its interaction with visitors, customers, and of course, search engines. And however, a static website without updates of any kind may be viewed by search engines as a dead entity with no life and nothing new to offer. So Anthony, how often should we be updating our content over time?
Yeah, I think, I think you need to revisit the static content on your site regularly. I think someone should be reviewing it at least monthly. Someone should be on top of it very consistently. You should have someone who's really focused on it, but not all companies can have that. I think a thorough review, twice a year, you want to probably do a real thorough review, do a full content audit, find out what's working, what's not. But I think you should probably be on top of things monthly. You should definitely be looking at analytics on a regular basis. I like to personally do that. I like to say I do it weekly, but I kind of sneak in and check things on a daily basis. Can distract the employee away from other things, but I think it's so important because you might discover that a important page is down, or whatever the case may be, and without keeping on top of that, you could have people start bouncing off your site because there's a 404 error you're not noticing. So that's really important. So I think your message changes along on all the time. I mean, you have to keep up with industry trends. You have to keep up with what your audience needs. So you have to really kind of adjust. But also having a blog on your site is really great, and that can be, there's stats that show for sites with 4+ articles on their site each week. I don't recall the exact number, but it's a significant times more lead conversion based on having four articles on your site. Your traffic rises. It gives more content for Google to rank. It gives more content for you to connect with your target audience. And I think that's one of the most important things. Aside from keeping your messaging consistent and fresh and adding new imagery and things like that on a regular basis, I think you should have a blog that you're at least posting 4+ if you can. Again, not every company has those resources, but 4+ if you can shoot for that. That's where you want to be, basically.
All right, so all you affiliate marketers out there, make sure that you get a blog, post regularly, and product reviews and all that sort of good stuff. Make sure that content is high quality as well. So also, like Anthony said, trying to see what other articles, affiliate marketing articles are out there with product reviews, getting those, repurposing them, trying to make them better, make them yours, and so you can get up in those Google rankings. So Anthony, as we start to wrap up this session here, I'd love for you to give something of value to leave with our audience. Do you have any parting advice for our audience or something actionable to get started with today?
Yeah, I would say, the most important thing is to not overextend yourself. Understand who you are, who your company is, what you're capable of, and then put the resources in place that you can handle. You can grow as you go along. Don't run home and sign up for SEMrush and Moz and start writing 4 blogs and this and that if it's only you or it's you and one other person. Take your time and grow, and as the resources build and the revenue builds, then you can focus more, because the more focused your content is, one super high quality piece of content is going to beat 100 really awful pieces of content any day. So if you can produce 1-2 pieces a month that are really great, start there, and then work your way up. So don't take what I've said with a grain of salt. Do what you can handle, and then work from there and build your way up. Great.
And so excellent. So why don't you let everyone know how they can get in touch with you, Anthony, and where you're hanging out at?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter at Anthony Genzel. You can also check out my website, anthonygenzel.com. It's Anthony's obvious. Genzel is Gaencle. And then also granitecreativegroup.com is where we offer a full suite of marketing services, and we work with a lot of startups, small to medium-sized businesses, and we help them kind of drive their strategy and grow. So, I'm on LinkedIn, obviously. Not obviously, I guess not everybody is, but I'm on LinkedIn. And so, feel free to reach out anytime, connect with me on any of those places, and always great to connect with fellow marketers and business professionals and talk business.
Great. So, and we'll link to all this on the Summit page below so you guys can get access to Anthony. Anthony, thank you so much for this actionable information. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been great chatting with you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good conversation.
Yeah, awesome. And I want to thank all of you for tuning into the Super Affiliate Biz Leads Automation Summit, for stepping up your game to become super affiliates, make an impact in the world, which is the purpose of this summit. I'm your host, Malcolm Cesar. Be sure to grab your all access pass before the opportunity expires, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next session.